Hey, sister.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I have I follow the mantra of accountability.
Yeah.
Ah, I don't. I To be quite honest, I'm not sure which one comes easily or which one we are more comfortable. You know, I love stage. I love the stage. I think it's
You're right.
so yeah. It's live. It's raw. You just come out and do your thing.
Yes.
And you get instant reaction from the audience.
Yes.
At that point in time, that's wonderful. I love the TV. I love the filming. I love that. I love writing. I don't do as much writing anymore because of, well, my schedule and all that stuff. I love poetry.
Oh,
I love stringing words. I love singing. I don't necessarily have the best voice, but I do love singing, you know? So I
mm,
don't know which one, but
mm.
God has given me bits and pieces here and there, and I just try to get better in each one. Maybe someday, uh, somebody somewhere would help me to choose which one. But for now, I try as much as possible to keep on growing in each of those areas. I find mentors, I find people who write so well, I glean into whatever they're doing,
Yeah.
whatever it is. If I find out that you are a wonderful stage director or whatever it is, or a producer, a TV producer, I want to learn from you. I want to say, so the totality of just all these things, I just love doing all of them. So I'm sorry, I can't really tell you which one is the baby. I can't. But one thing I know is that I love it when people read my books
Mm,
and they tell me, "Oh, Eve, it was like I was there.
mm.
It's so visual. I
So,
can see it. It's so real. It's so this. I love that because I love to strike. I love to resonate. I love people to resonate with what whatever I'm doing. I
uh,
want to get that connection.
right.
So that connection really comes a lot from my books, and one of my books, Help I Have an Alien in the House,
Mm-hmm.
is geared towards young teenage girls,
Mm-hmm.
because I do a lot of mentoring for young teenage girls. Actually, I do a lot of mentoring in the immigrant community, basically. And two of the books were used in the colleges here, and so I go out, I talk with them. I just can't describe the feeling that you get,
Oh,
from listening to them. And some of them come to me and say, wow, I wish my mom was like you. I'm learning so much. I have so many adopted children, you know, even though I have two daughters of my own, but I have so many, that is what I enjoy. So
mm.
whatever it is that I can do that God has put in me for me to be able to impact somebody else, I'll do it. And at that point in time, that becomes my baby.
Wow. It's so lovely just listening to you. I'm so proud of you. I
Thank
am.
you, sister.
I admire you so much. And that's why you're so good at what you do, because you have a passion for it, so that connection is there. It is, you have it. So that's why you're able to connect to this young women and other people that you mentor. So talking about that, I'm going to piggyback off that. You talked about girls. What is your take? This is something I've talked about. I've asked my other guests,
Okay.
because
Mhm.
again, I think you get to a certain stage in life, you start to feel accountable for those coming behind you. And
Yes.
that's what I felt. And like, it's no secret, I shared this and I've shared it with you even before, we came on camera, that in my final year in the university, I was sexually assaulted, and it's something that it took me, that was in 88. That's like 200 years ago, but that's you know but my thing here is, what is your take on that, and what do you think, especially as it relates to Nigeria? People have asked me to talk on situations like that, on how are we doing enough back in Nigeria, and especially you're more recent and more conversant with Nigeria than I am. But what do you think? What can be done? What is not being done? How do we move forward? Are we talking enough about it? What are other women doing?
Ooh, now that is an area where, oh my God, where do we start from?
Right.
The world, it's a man's world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just Africa or Nigeria.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, women, there's a lot of gender inequality, and we come from a patriarchal community.
Yeah.
The laws are skewed in favor of the men, and even sometimes where the laws exist and there's equity, the culture is so subsuming.
Mm.
The culture is so pervasive. The culture is so, it's like the proverbial get your knees off my neck kind of a thing. A lot of women, because of our culture, deal with all kinds of situations. Rape and sexual molestation are just a part of that abuse.
Right.
Because
Right.
you have domestic violence even amongst couples. You
Mm-hmm.
have sexual exploitation in the offices,
Yes.
which is allowed and is done indiscriminately and nobody says anything about it. You have all kinds of things. There are women, look at even our National Assembly in Nigeria. How many women do you have at the top echelon in society?
Mm-hmm.
You work so hard as a woman, you put in 10 times the work, but nobody judges you by the content in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You are objectified.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the first thing that somebody sees about you.
Right. Right.
Okay. And so there are lots of women who are dealing with all kinds of things. When we were growing up, this was not something that was talked about. I'm not even sure how a lot of us dealt with, because there was abuse then. When we stay with parents, and it always happens with familiar people.
Family.
When you stay with cousins, uncles, and that's our society.
Yeah.
So a lot of people dealt with that, but there was no counseling, and so they take this situation and they take it to wherever they're going to in their homes. And so a man wonders why his wife behaves in certain ways. She may be frigid, she may be, she may have all kinds of issues, because
Right.
whatever she's showing is a tip of the iceberg.
Right.
What is deep within is so much, it's a mass that has not been brought out because of our society. Is the society doing enough? No, no way. Because whatever you're doing, there has to be a policy thrust in that direction. So you can come out and talk and carry placards and do whatever it is and make noise. It does not translate to the law. So as long as the society still accepts certain things and there has not been a policy, I know they've been trying to, recently, because of the things that were happening even in our industry, a lot of people came out to speak against sexual harassment at work and all that stuff. And the rape cases just skyrocketed for whatever reason, everything just became exponential. And nobody knew how to stop it. And of course, they started going to the state governments and to the National Assembly, and were clamoring to have this thing in law.
Right.
As a law. So we need to continue doing that. As women, we have daughters, and like I always say, sexual harassment is not just for women alone. There are men who get sexually abused as well, but the stats shows that it's more, the women are more vulnerable.
Out of it, yeah.
They are more vulnerable. Anyway, right now in Nigeria, we have the Boko Haram cases going on. We have the headsmen. We have all kinds of things going on. The women are always the most impacted. They are raped. Some of them get pregnant with children whose fathers they don't know. They are stigmatized. A woman who is raped cannot even go to the police station without her being made fun of.
Oh my God.
So most of them don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
And you walk past and somebody says, it's your dressing that caused it. The way you dressed, the way you look. Oh, she's just 15, but she's so fully matured. A child.
Oh my God.
I learned that there was somebody recently who they've sentenced to, is it 30 years in prison for raping somebody? I don't think that is strong enough. One lawmaker said that they should be castrated.
In some places of the world, I think they actually do that to them.
That may be better.
Start doing
actually.
that. Yeah.
When you start doing that, you
Then,
see, you must look at it from this angle. You are actually helping the victim, because if you don't take that tool of mass destruction, you are enabling the victim.
yes,
Because it's going to come back, it's going to keep doing it.
they do.
But sometimes he can't help himself. It's a disorder. He has a problem. So the Bible says, if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. Cut off this thing that this guy cannot control and help help himself. Take it away from him and he will be all right. He's not going to die. You're not killing him.
It's
seriously, you're not killing him. You're just helping him to, and put it somewhere so that he doesn't think about it
anymore.
He does, because he doesn't need it.
Oh my God.
And he's going to keep on doing it. It becomes a serial offender.
Yeah.
And a lot of women, we women sometimes, we need to be more empathetic.
That's the cocoa.
We need to be more empathetic, because you see a young girl. I mean, I have 2 teenage daughters right now, and I look at them and I'm wondering, what would any man want to sleep with this one for? What? And there are so many options out there. So many women. There was a case in Abuja where a Catholic priest raped a 10-year-old girl. 10-year-old child who was left in his care. You understand? Good enough, the church said, let him face the law. And he did face the law. Okay? So we need to drum it up. And then, finally, amazing. We concentrate a lot on the girl child, but who are we training the girl child for? We need to start training the men.
On how to.
The boys.
Yeah, it's a thinking process. We got to change it.
Yes, there needs to be a reorientation of their minds to understand that you don't treat women like this. If a woman says no, it is no. I tell my sons, I have 2 sons who are young adults, and I tell them, don't. If the woman says no, no is no.